benchmark, and this is the market wrap. I am Agam Vakil, and it's turned out to be a reversal. Yet another day, a step forward, a step backward, and this is exactly what we are seeing when it comes to the benchmarks, and it is going to be a very tricky market to trade. Considering the Nifty has advanced by another 100 points today, we're looking at substantial strength in Z Entertainment, Bharat Petroleum, Ultratech Cement, Bajaj Finance, Tata Motors, all advancing in trade. Bajaj Finance, what a set of earnings. Well, clearly an island in notion of everything that may or they could have gone wrong. Bajaj Finance is posting some stellar earnings quarter after quarter. On the losing end, Yes Bank under more pressure, down another 3.6%. Bharti Airtel, IndusInd Bank and Coal India also down in trade, but not as much. Today, the momentum was with the gainers. But when it comes to the broader markets, we have nearly one gainer for two, or for one loser. Gainers slightly more than losers. Indiabulls Real Estate up 11%, Tata Global Beverages and Tata Chemicals, both of these stocks advancing by 8 to 10%. And Aster DM, Healthcare, Siemens, HPCL all advancing. On the losing end, Interglobe Aviation losing out by as much as 9%. And this is, of course, on the news that there may be a rift between the co-promoters of the company. Max India, Central Bank of India, Minda Industries and Vodafone India also down in trade. And on that note, I'm going to get in our markets editor, Neeraj Shah, to make sense of the markets, because Neeraj, I really can't make too much of.
No, it's just difficult because it's so volatile these days, and I think even top-notch traders that we speak to are getting it wrong, and therefore that tells you that it is making its own choice without. It's not a trending market. And it's probably as simple as that. So you have individual stocks, save for 2 or 3, which are probably moving as per news. Almost everything else is moving up and down without there being any apparent news flow surrounding them, right? So that's the call. Today, some of the top short calls were Z Entertainment, and the stock is up about 7% in trade. So that tells you a story. Market breadth was, well, not abysmal, but was very weak, and ending almost even Stevens. So that also tells you a story. And I doubt that the FIs would not have sold today. I'll be really surprised if that number just suddenly reverses. So despite all of that, I think we've had a day in the green. So it's pretty interesting as to what's happening. I think until the May 23rd verdict is out of the way, it's best not to try and make sense of what's happening in the market. Just play along.
Fair enough. Of course, we have one more trading session to go before this week closes in. But Neeraj, thank you for that perspective there. So that's as far as markets go. But let's talk about one stock which took a hit of as much as 9% in today's day of trade. And I'm going to get Somit Sarkar to talk to us about Interglobe Aviation. Somit, what do you make of this?
Well, if you see, the stock tanked after the media report suggested that there's some kind of disagreement between the two promoters. That is Rakesh Bhatia and Rakesh Gangwal on the management and the control of the company, that is Interglobe Aviation, or also known as Indigo. Now, the company came out with a media statement where they said that they assured about the growth strategy of the company, that is fairly remains unchanged and on place. It also said that the management will continue to create shareholder value and value for its customers and employees. However, interestingly, if you see, this press statement has not confirmed neither denied this disagreement between the promoters that has been said on the media. So that will continue to remain overhang on Indigo. And as you can see today, the stock price declined more than 8%. And let's see how the stock price performs tomorrow, given the fact that this press statement neither confirms nor denies the allegations that have been put out by the media on the disagreement between the promoters.
Okay, Somit, thanks for joining us and getting us those details. So that's as far as Interglobe Aviation is concerned. Let's also bring in Shefali Malik for one other stock which has come out with a stellar set of earnings, and that's Bajaj Finance. Shefali, how's the quarter looking?
Well, absolutely fantastic, and this one just doesn't stop at all. Quarter after quarter, such a steady growth that they've seen, and even in this tough environment when most of the other NBFCs are going through such a tough time, and management spoke to us, they're sounding very confident that they'll be able to maintain this growth rate of, they reported a profit growth of about 57%, and the management is confident that they'll continue to outperform going forward as well. AUM growth of 41% that they did in this quarter, that remains very strong. It was far above expectations. Even asset asset quality, in last 4 quarters, there was a marginal downtick that was happening in the asset qualities, both at the gross NPAs and net NPAs level. This quarter, they've managed to arrest that fall. So the asset quality was also stable this time around. Deposits growth as well was very strong. So at about 13,193 crore rupees. So at this time, even the depositors are, the confidence is shaking a bit, but in a name like Bajaj Finance, even the depositors are coming in. That is reflected in about 70% deposit growth. Across segments, there was very strong growth in consumer B2B, B2C segment, rural lending about 70% growth, mortgage business, there they saw a growth of about 41% on a YY basis. So very strong and a steady set of growth coming in for Bajaj Finance.
Sure, absolutely. And of course, Shefali, thank you so much for joining us and taking us through those numbers as far as Bajaj Finance is concerned. And as we all know, well, it's ended the day with gains of as much as 3.6%. Another set of stocks that I want to address today is Tata Global Beverages, which ended the day with gains of 11%. Tata Chemicals up as much as 8.5%. Now, we all know that the consumer business of Tata Chemicals will be transferred to Tata Global Beverages, and in return, the shareholders of Tata Chemicals, for every 100 shares they hold in Tata Chemicals, will be allotted 114 shares of Tata Global Beverages. As per, well, the many valuations, well, it may suggest that the consumer business may have been valued at a little bit of a discount, but well, for now, investors are disregarding that aspect and are only focusing on the fact that once the consumer business is transferred to Tata Global Beverages, it unlocks value for that consumer business. And here, on the other hand, which is the specialty chemicals business in Tata Chemicals, well, considering the valuations at which it is currently trading at, it is at a significant discount once the consumer business is out of the picture, and that's the reason why at least some of the analysts are expecting an up move in Tata Chemicals as well. Of course, we'll continue to give you more updates about how valuations pan out eventually for both these companies and the kind of impact this movement of the consumer business has on each of these companies. Well, till then, we're going to have to wait and watch for how this pans out over the next few quarters. And on that note, it's a wrap on the markets. Lots more lined up. Stay tuned to Bloomberg.